How do you do? I'm Van Heflin. I'm greeting you from aboard a ferry boat in New York Harbor. We begin here on our Atlantic shore in anticipation of our movement westward across the continent and over the intervening Pacific waters to our farthermost border, the island state of Hawaii. Our purpose is simple: to bring you the great natural spectacle of America. The skyline of New York. Truly a wonderful sight. Symbol of our strength, our wealth, our industrial might. But great as it is man-made and only reflects our natural heritage. Behind it, hidden by its skyscrapers and stretching to the Pacific shore and beyond for mile after unsullied mile, is a land of such astonishing variety, of such assorted natural pleasures, such incredible nature-fashioned phenomena, many still as the pioneer found them, as to make the heart leap at the sight of them, even in this sophisticated and cynical age. So let us, if you will, you who may never have seen these wonders, and you who may have forgotten them, lift our eyes above the skyline and move out across the towering buildings to join the vast geographical tapestry of America and see the magnificence of our country as God gave it to us.
I'm Bill Johnson. Around here, they just call me Dad. I've been trying to read, but I just can't seem to do it. I keep thinking about today, Thanksgiving Day. We Johnsons had a good Thanksgiving, the best we've ever had. And I can't help thinking that what made it better was a real feeling of thankfulness. And that's odd, too, when you consider the shape things were in when I got home from work yesterday. My kids, Dick and Tommy and Susan, were all home from school. And of course, Mother and the baby were there. As kids will, mine were living tomorrow right along with today, looking forward to Thanksgiving. And like most men, I'm glad it was Mother instead of me who had to break the news to them.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Turkey and dressing and pie and cake.
And fruit salad and whipped cream and cranberries. Gee, I can hardly wait. Me too.
Well, you know, children, we've had a lot of expenses this month, and, well, your father and I thought that... Well, the truth of the matter is, there just won't be any turkey this year.
No turkey for Thanksgiving?
Oh, I'm going to make a pumpkin pie. We'll have plenty to eat, but, well, we'll just have to get along without turkey.
Mom, you don't mean it. It won't be Thanksgiving at all.
Even the Pilgrims had a feast. After all, isn't that what Thanksgiving's for? I don't think it's fair.
And it was right there that I came in, right in the thick of it. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Paul.
Hello, Mother, Dick, Susan. Well, what's been going on around here? What's the matter with everybody, anyway?
Mom says we're not going to have any Thanksgiving. No turkey, no good thing.
A fat lot we're gonna have to be thankful for.
Oh, I don't think you kids really mean that.
We do, too. We've always had turkey for Thanksgiving.
Yes, and everybody else in the block's gonna have it this year. Same as always.
Yes, we've always had turkey, just as a lot of Americans have had it, and we'll keep on having it. Turkey on Thanksgiving's a great American tradition. But what you kids are saying makes it sound as if the turkey's the only thing we had to be thankful for.
Well, gee whiz, no, Dad. It's not that at all.
Oh, I know, Dick. With turkey, it's easy to lose sight of what Thanksgiving really means.
And don't think we're just making excuses because we don't have any turkey this year. We know it'll mean a lot more to us the next time we do have it.
Well, sure. Suppose we don't have a bang-up feast. We're still a lot better off than the Pilgrims.
That's it, Dick. Do you other kids see what Dick's trying to say? Turkey or no turkey, we've still got all the freedoms and privileges the Pilgrims gave us. And out of those privileges have come a lot of things. Things the Pilgrims never even dreamed of.
Why, we could make a list a mile long. Why don't we do it?
But now hold on a minute. You've got the idea, but it isn't something you can write down like a grocery list. You've got to feel it down deep before you can really be thankful for anything. I tell you what let's do. Let's take a little more time to think this over. When you get right down to it, there are some pretty tough decisions in making up your mind what means the most to you. Your life? Sure, that's one thing you can't get along without. But do you know that there are some places in the world today where you have to get along without just about everything else?
Golly, Daddy.
I guess I kind of got carried away. But I'll bet you one thing. If we really think over what we have to be thankful for, when we sit down to whatever Mother fixes to eat tomorrow, we'll be one family in America that will really have a Thanksgiving dinner. Well, that's how it got started. The Johnsons didn't have any turkey. And the kids, no, I mean everybody, likes to make something special out of a special day. So we fell back on something as old as the Pilgrims, toting up the common, ordinary blessings that we had to be thankful for.
Hi, gang.
Oh, hi, Mr. Crane.
Now, that's what I call a little act of patriotism.
What's so patriotic about it? All we're doing is planting a tree. Yes, everybody helps on Arbor Day.
Yeah, well, that's just the point. Patriotism is you helping your country to be a better place in all ways. Think about it. See you later.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Miss Clay. Okay, come on, put some water in.
How can you help? Patriotism is being proud of whatever you are and whatever you do. What ways can you think of to help improve your life and to help improve your country? Is sharing a way? If we learn to care for others, to respect others, we'll learn how to care for, to respect our country.
Don't know what to make of it. That's why I decided to call you, Doctor. The way Henry's been acting lately, it's just...
Hello, Doctor. Feeling well? Hello, Emily. Not feeling well? You say he's had this trouble before?
Yes. The last time was several years ago. You know, when everything was so hard to get, Henry had a terrible time.
Then he was all right for a while, wasn't he?
Oh, yes, he's been getting along beautifully with people. But then, just the other night, the whole thing started over again when we were having dinner at a little restaurant that used to be one of Henry's favorite places. Henry's such a meek man that people often ignore him, just as that waitress did.
You folks decided what you want yet?
Yes, thank you. It was,
It was roast duck.
that's what I said, yes, roast duck, yes, roast duck.
Roast duck?
Some applesauce, maybe, and,
I just served the last order to that party over there.
They came in after we did.
Well, I can't help that. We got some fish left. Ducks, fish, what's the difference? They both swim.
When our food finally came, it was stone cold. And then Henry discovered she hadn't brought him any lemon, after he'd asked her twice.
All I want, Emily, is just one little slice of lemon. If that waitress would just realize how little it takes to make me happy, if the owner of this place only knew how easy it is to make people feel welcome in his place of business,
There's your lemon, mister.
Oh, thank you.
Henry, for a man who shot all the lions and tigers you have, you certainly don't get much respect in a restaurant. You know what you remind me of sometimes? A stuffed mouse. Doctor, the strangest look came over his face. And then he pulled a little black book out of his pocket and started to mark in it.
Now, Emily, I can't see any cause for alarm in that. Lots of men keep track of the places where they've been badly treated, so they'll remember not to go there anymore.
Oh, no, that isn't it, Doctor. Let me tell you about the next time. He was buying a suit, and as you know, Henry is very conservative about his clothes.
I tell you, I want Oxford gray. Oxford gray.
Mac, this is what everyone's wearing nowadays. Oxford gray? Why, I tell you, people would laugh at you. There, look at that fit across the shoulder. Perfect. And look at that fit in front. Perfect. Doesn't even need any alterations. Except maybe the sleeves. Now let's look at the pants.
Is there another pair of trousers? I always want 2 pair.
2 pair of pants for that price? Say, when did you buy your last suit anyway?
Well, I think it was about last June. No, I do not like the suit. I
was supposed to meet him at the store, and by the time I got there, he was simply furious. He got that expression on his face again. Then he started putting things down in the notebook, drawing a picture.
Well, really, Emily, I can't see why you're so upset. It's probably just a natural release for his pent-up feelings. After all, the salesman insulted his taste and good judgment. Make matters worse, he browbeat him in an argument.
There, you see, I know he's up to something. I've been sure of it ever since yesterday when we went marketing.
Next.
Have you any nice lean pork chops?
I got these.
They're not very lean, are they?
Well, that's what I got.
One of these chickens for broiling.
Well, hello, Mrs. Bates. What can I do for you?
You could give me some nice lean pork chops.
Well, I've been saving a few just in case you came in.
By the time I got through with my shopping at the bakery, he was in an argument about price.
Oh, the sign said 60 cents a pound, and this is a 5-pound chicken. Now you tell me it's $4?
Yeah, but 60 a pound is for those scrawny old hens. You picked out a good chicken. Naturally, you don't expect to get it at the same price, do you?
So when I found the book this morning on the hall table, I just thought you ought to have a look at it, Doctor. After all, you've been Henry's doctor and friend for a long time.
Even so, I didn't know Henry was such an artist. Our butcher, playing favorites, price juggling, a boor. My dollar is worth just as much as anybody's dollar. If he had been honest about prices, he would have made a sale instead of losing one. But what on earth does he mean by over the gun rack? Waitress at the B restaurant. Ignored us. Careless service. Impertinent.
I'm easy to please. All I ask is a little attention and a bit of friendliness. Over the bookcase. Over the bookcase? Salesman at Brown's men's store. A show-off. Too smart. Henry thinks this man will be better off if he paid more attention to what the customer wants. Over the mantel. Seems Henry's had plenty of trouble. Hometown Motor Company, serviceman. Said they would have car ready by noon. When I got there, they hadn't even started to work on it. I had to wait 2 hours. I know exactly what he means. And it isn't just the service department either. I remember when I bought my last new car. I got just about the same kind of treatment Henry got in the restaurant. I wasn't buying pork chops. I was buying an automobile, a major investment. Yet I practically had to take the car away from him.
Abracadabra. They won't see you. You'll be invisible through and through.
Hi, Mom. Hey, are we having eggs? Hey, Mom, what's wrong?
You're invisible, Jimmy.
What? Who said that?
I did, Jimmy. Me, down here.
Invisible? Wow! But I don't want to be invisible. Hey, Mom!
She can't see you or hear you. I made you invisible so you can discover something.
What?
That's for you to find out. When you've learned it, you'll be visible again.
Learned what?
I'll give you a hint. You can find out by watching your mom and dad.
Hey! Wait! I want to talk to you. Just watch your mom and dad?
First, he watched his mother and began to see all the things she does for the family. He never really noticed that before.
Egotist. Thinks I'm going to sit home and cry my eyes out. He's got a door to slam. Well, so have I. I can make my own living just as well as he can make his. He ought to be glad I'm working. Just because he can't stand competition, he wants me to quit. My work isn't important enough. I'm only a woman. But he, the man, is boss. He'd like me to be a slave to the house while some cutie on the paper whispers into his ear what a great big reporter he is. Look at this mess. The way he throws his clothes around. It wouldn't hurt His Highness to take a little interest in the house. I'm the one who's married, but he can act as if he were single. He wouldn't dream of wearing a wedding ring, no matter how much I tell him I like it. But I'm as good as he is. I've got a brain of my own, and I intend to make the most of my life, too. Yes, I want a home and kids, but I'm not going to be a fool like Mother, bending over a wash tub all her life while Dad went around as free as air. A woman's place is in the home. Why, His Highness ought to wear side whiskers and carry a gold-headed cane. If he thinks I'm going to obey his every command, he can get right out of my life, and I mean it, right out of my life.
Oh, I had a girl and she was good, but one of her legs was made of wood. Her hair was false and her teeth was too, and there wasn't much for me to do. Turkey in the straw, a turkey in the hay, a turkey in the straw. What did you say? Hey, roll and twist him up a high and tuck a haw. Hit up a tune called Turkey in the Straw. My wife says I'm just like a goose. I chew snooze to beat the deuce. She says, what's the use to chew that snooze when you got to spit out most of the juice? A turkey in the straw, a turkey in the grass, a turkey in the straw. I get a kick out of this. Roll 'em, twist 'em up a high, tuck a haw. Hit up a tune called Turkey in the Straw.
That's a woman for you. Never tell what she'll do next. And all the time I thought she was so sweet and tender. What a temper. Lucky I ducked out when I did. How could I win? I'm only a man. Oh, well, the copy won't wait. Where do women get the idea that they wear the pants? Must be her diploma. To a man, it's a piece of paper, but Virginia, she's got the world at her feet. The way she hangs on to her name, you'd think it was a shame to be a Jackson. I write the copy, but it comes out as a picture story by Virginia Chase. She'd break her neck for a good shot, but our home is like a bachelor rooming house. It's about time she learned what comes first, marriage or her job. Everybody else leads a normal life. Why can't we? I'm fed up with warmed-up leftovers and dishes in the sink. She can't even find time to sew on a button for me. How Mom used to take care of Dad, and how happy both of them were. Virginia's got no such respect for a man. What was she thinking of when she said, I do? A roommate to help with the dishes? What does a man work for? Beating his brains out to make something out of himself if his wife doesn't look up to him. Instead, she competes with me and makes a half man out of me and a half woman out of herself. And I, like a fool, thought I was getting a wife. I'll show her who's boss, even if we wind up in the courts.
Day in, day out, we must make decisions, simple decisions. What book will give me the information I need? Complex decisions. What career will give me what I want out of life? Everyday decisions. Well, what are the skills of making decisions? How can we acquire them? And what happens if we don't make our own decisions? Let's see.
Oh, I just don't know, Sue. Friday night. I'd like to go, but... Well, I should stay home and catch up on my homework. It does sound like fun, though. I should stay home, though, shouldn't I? Or should I? I'll ask Mom and let you know.
Ask your mother? Are you kidding? You're not a baby anymore.
Well, that is... Don't you think I should ask her?
Listen, Jane Parker. It's about time you started making decisions for yourself. Well, have it your own way. I'll see you tomorrow. But that's the deadline, tomorrow.
Do you see how failure to make your own decisions can lead to uncertainty, needless worry, and a childish dependency on others?
Oh, hi, Sis. Can I go to the show with Tom and Chuck?
The show? Well, I don't know.
You don't know? Mom said I should check with you when she's not home.
Yes, but the show. You might get home late. Mother'd be mad. Of course, if you went right away... But it's a double feature.
Come on, Sis. Make up your mind. The kids are waiting.
My girl loves a sailor, a lass and a lack. I bless the day he sails away and curse the day he's back. For as soon as her sailor comes home from the sea, she grabs her hat and leaves me flat as I can be. Now I know if I should tell her to choose between us two, she'd pick that naval fella, and then what would I do? Oh, my girl loves a sailor who sails on the sea. I sit and pray he'll sail away and leave my girl to me.
Oh, my girl loves a sailor who sails on the sea. And since he came that fickle day, it's cold as ice to me.
Yes, I love a sailor who sails on the sea. He's 6 feet long and big and strong, and he loves little me. Oh, me and my sailor, we row down the bay. And when we park our cozy bark, we find so much to say. His name is Frank or Freddie, or is it Pat or Paul, or Tom or Tim or Teddy? I guess I love them all. Oh, I love the Navy, I stick to the sea. I hope and pray that some fine day some tar will stick to me.
Can't I?
No, then. You can't go to the show, and don't ask me again.
Okay, Jane. I'll just play ball for a while instead, okay?
Yes, but be home in time for supper.
Okay.
Hello, Sue. About Friday night. I'll be there. You can count on me. Bye.
And when you do make your own decisions, you feel good. Even if your decisions are not the best, they give you a sense of assurance.
Thank you.
This was my last assignment, Mike.
Why? What happened?
Nothing. I've made up my mind. I'm quitting the job.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
But what would you do?
Nothing. Stay in all day and hand you your slippers when you come home at night.
Oh, Jenny, I wasn't trying to defeat you.
And what was all that yelling about last night?
I was a fool. You know, after I cooled off last night, I found I'd been hanging on to a lot of ideas I don't really believe in anymore. I realized I'd miss your puttering in the dark room.
Oh, Mike, you don't have to prop me up.
No, really. I like a woman who's doing things, Jenny. I didn't marry you so you'd admire me and laugh at my jokes. You've got a mind of your own, and you've got to use it. It's about time I accepted you as you really are.
Darling, you don't know how much you're saying. It's like getting a wonderful present. I feel like, I don't know.
Well, here's my padded shoulder.
Well, it was nice having everyone at home in time for dinner. Especially you, Bill.
Yeah. Bill wanted to go to the show this afternoon. But I knew he'd be too late with the double feature and all, so I decided he'd better not go.
She sure did. Well, that was wise, dear.
Well, Jane, it's good to see you learning how to accept responsibilities like that.
Oh, I'm going to a party Friday night at Sue's house. She called and asked if I wanted to go, so I decided to go.
Well, that sounds all right.
You know, from now on, I'm going to make my own decisions. After all, I'm not a baby anymore. I don't have to go running to Mother.
Dad, could I make decisions for myself, too? After all, I'm no baby.
Well, Bill, you do make some of your own decisions. And as you grow and mature, you'll be making more of them. I'm glad you're thinking about that, Jane.
And while you're about it, you really ought to decide about your summer vacation.
Summer vacation?
I talked to Mr. Rugen today, and he says he can give you a job in his store this summer if you want it.
A job?
But, Jane, you were talking about taking that special art course this summer. Have you decided about that?
Well, no, not exactly. That is, a job. Art course. I'm sort of confused. I just don't know. Mom, what should I do?
Ha, ha, ha. Run to Mother. I'm not a baby anymore. Ha, ha, ha.
Bowling today is a national sport. Each year in the United States and Canada, approximately 20 million pin busters bowl in about 10,000 alleys. The number of bowlers and alleys is increasing in leaps and bounds. Thousands of leagues have sprung up, and competitive bowling attracts crowds of spectators that would do proud to any intercollegiate football game. In a recent tournament held in St. Paul, Minnesota, every state in the Union was represented. The cash prizes amounted to a healthy fortune. Tall or short, thin or fat, the idea is to knock the pins down, not the alley. But bowling is not only for men. Women and children by the millions are ardent fans. Here's a sport in which women often excel men in technique and accuracy. In other words, the female of the species is more deadly than the male. It's a grand sport for the rich man, the poor man, a queen, or a housewife. After the serious business of strikes and spares is over, the experts step up for some trick shots that offer diversion and amusement to those in the grandstand. This bowler is after the 7 pin. Now for the star performers of the cast. Joe Falcaro, undefeated world match champion. Mike Falcaro, a chip of the old block, world's junior match champion. Mary Burchell, tomorrow's champion. How do you do, Mary?
How do you do? Going to try to make a trick shot called the vibration.
Don't let her fool you. Anyone can do it. Just set 10 or 12 pins up in twin alleys and balance a pin atop each. Take the proper steps and easy swing. Let her go, and no matter what pin you hit first, they'll all go down. Try this the next time you're out rolling for the big ones. Perfect rolls a slow one for the 7 pin. Then Joe, with plenty of speed, goes after the 10, and both hit simultaneously. Yes, he's here again. He can make a strike in any position. But now Windy's on the spot. If Joe doesn't roll that ball between Windy's feet, he'll have corns tomorrow. Watch the champion do this one. 5 pins in 2 alleys and only 1 ball. Now 3 pins in 2 alleys, and it's a more difficult shot to make. Here it is slowed up. Joe will have to hit that first pin in exactly the right spot to make it. Sometimes they're all direct hits. Sometimes you get it on the rebound, and that's the way this one is made. So if you want to bowl for fun or prizes, be sure to select the right ball for you. Have your hand dry and get a firm, easy grip. Wear the proper shoes. They contribute so much to your steps and approach. Face the pin squarely about 12 or 15 feet from the foul line and take 3, 4, or 5 steps as you... If you'll do all this, you'll never, or hardly ever, miss taking them all down on the first roll.
Hi, Jimmy. Lunch is ready. Would you call your dad, please?
Sure, Mom, just a second. Hey, I'm visible again. Mom can hear me. I must have learned something.
What'd you learn, Jimmy?
Well, I just watched Mom and Dad, and I saw that they do a lot of things. They make my meals, and take care of me, and fix things for me, and help me. They're nice.
That's right. But that's not why I made you visible again.
What?
You learned something better, Jimmy.
I did?
Remember when you didn't bother your dad when he was busy? Or when you swept up the sawdust? That's when you showed that you really appreciated your mom and dad. That's when you really learned.
Thanks.
Your parents like to know you appreciate them. You can probably think of some other ways to let your parents know you do.
Jimmy?
Okay, Mom, coming. Dad, lunch is ready.
Okay, Jim. I'll be up in a minute.
Thanks for the puppet.
You're welcome, son.
Henry, are you all right?
You have an accident? All right, yes, dear. Accident? Thanks, old man. Just had one.
Henry, what are you doing?
I'm going to take that bear's head down from over the bookcase.
Oh, dear. Over the bookcase.
Over the mantel. Over the gun rack. A public service, my dear.
I think I'm going to faint.
Oh, wait, Emma. Before you do, let me get you another chair. Thanks, Doctor. I need this one to get these heads down before the store's closed tonight. By the way, Doctor, I'd like to know what you think of my project.
What is your project?
Well, sir, bad-mannered people sometimes remind me of animals. Now, I've met a few bad-mannered people in business lately, and this afternoon they're going to remember only too well that they've met me. Now, it's not just the butcher and the baker and the candlestick maker either. I think that everybody in all businesses in these times ought to pay attention to the way they treat people. Now, this afternoon, I'm going to give these animal heads to some people I know. They'll be a good reminder of the right way to keep friends, to keep business, no matter how hard times may be or what may come. This first one is to a waitress I know. Only a bear can afford to hibernate when customers are waiting. It's easy to be nice to people, and it only takes a little bit of attention to make them feel welcome. Now, this would help remind that restaurant owner, too, that his customers judge him by the people who work for him. Now, this is going to a salesman I know. Don't be a smart shark. Know your product, but let the customer tell you what he wants. And, of course, that'd be good advice for any salesman. Now, this applies to lots of people in business, but it's going to our butcher. Boors and bores have this in common: they have few friends. It takes lots of friendly customers to stay in business. You make friends by treating people right.
I've got some ideas about people who act like animals myself. Emily, get out of that chair. I'm going to work. That is, if you don't mind my joining in, Henry.
Not at all, Doctor, not at all.
Henry, I don't think we've got enough heads to go around. Every business and professional man in town ought to have one to keep him reminded of the fact that there's no such thing as doing business without the customer. That no matter what kind of product or service he sells, his success depends on getting along with people. In fact, I know I need a reminder myself once in a while not to be a bear or a boar or a shark. Henry, I want to go along with you.
And I'm thankful for all the things our American system makes possible for the Smiths and the Browns and the Johnsons. For washing machines, hot water out of a tap, and a telephone to call the doctor when one of the family is sick. A car to get Dad to work. Yes, I'm thankful for all the things free people working together can produce. I'm thankful that when my neighbor drops in to borrow a cup of flour, we've got the right to talk about anything we want to. The parent-teacher project, the new mayor, or Jane Jones' hat. And last of all, I'm truly thankful for the peace of mind that Dad's job brings, for knowing that even though there are lots of luxuries we can't afford, there still will always be enough to go around for the things we have to have. I'm glad Dad doesn't work slave hours, that there are evenings and Sundays and vacations when we can all be together.
That's Mother for you, grateful for what America means to her family. And now for me. I've got so many things to be thankful for. I'm thankful for this house. It may need a coat of paint, it has a mortgage, but it's ours, a place where we can be together in privacy. And I'm thankful for the thing that makes this house our home, the happiness here, not just today or on Christmas morning, but on a day-to-day basis all through the year. For knowing that a knock on our door means nothing to fear. A friend calling, or maybe a bill collector, or a kid selling magazines. You never know what to expect. But you can count on one thing. It's not going to be some political gangster coming to drag one of us off to jail because we believe in freedom.